Rev up your engines! You might think a BMW is a good car to buy. Yes, they are packed full of modern technology, but that's the reason I tell people not to buy these BMWs. Because under the hood are layers and layers of technology. And as you can see, the hood struts don't even work anymore. Those are broken. So we'll get our plastic stick out. Yeah. Old technology for new technology. Let's take this BMW as an example, and pretty much a sterling example of the high technology and the problems they have. This is a 2008 335i. It has all the bells and whistles. It's a straight 6-cylinder engine, but it puts out 300 horsepower using technology. It's an inline 6 common old design. It has 2 turbochargers on it to make it have power. And if they go bad, and bad they do, the turbochargers are over $3,000 a piece, over $2,000 labor, so you're looking at over $8 grand if they go bad. Now the original owner of this car paid $45,000 up for this thing, and my customer bought it for $13,500, and it had like 40,000 miles on it. So you think, oh, what a deal. Well, the price alone tells you it's not a deal. Before he met me, he said, Scotty, I thought I was getting a deal, but then every time I take it in, it's $1,000 for this, $2,000 for that. Now, yes, they are maintenance-heavy vehicles. They cost a lot of money to maintain. Anybody who actually knows how to work on these has to have some extremely sophisticated equipment that costs a ton of money. And as far as I'm concerned, a lot of it has to do with the overuse of plastics in these things. One of the first companies to use plastic for just about everything. With these BMWs, it doesn't matter the mileage, age destroys the plastics. Heat of the engine under the hood, the stuff cracks and comes apart. If you ever have to work on one of these when it gets to be older, this one's 12 years old now, you got to be really careful working around the engine, because you can easily start snapping off plastic parts. They're so brittle. And then when you find these little plastic parts cost $300, $500, some of them well over $1,000 when you include labor, because you got to take half the car apart to get to them. These things are notorious for getting oil leaks around the oil filter. You might think, oh, no big deal, they're just gaskets in there. Well, some of these things, it's over $1,000 labor taking all the crap off to get to the stupid gasket. Now, in the case of this particular one, it's here because it's not shifting right. Now, I have equipment for this stuff, and as you can see, we're now in the transmission. You can check variables, shifting, you can check solenoids, you can see what the adaptation values are, even find all the code numbers so you can look it up if perhaps there's a recall for your particular vehicle. Most guys that have this equipment, they're paying a ton for the stuff. You're going to pay a ton to have your car worked on. And a lot of guys won't even touch it. And they'll say, take it to the dealer. And you know what they charge at the dealer. Now, in this case, I did a lot of testing. Drove it around. So as you can see, there's a lot of data that needs to be looked at while the car's being driven. I was able to do a bunch of actuation tests to see if the solenoid valves are working right and what kind of data's in it. And unfortunately, in the case of this one, there were no error codes for the transmission. The data was all relatively normal. So I thought, well, I know how these things are. I took a sample of the transmission fluid. Now, it's a sealed transmission, so even that was a pain in the butt. There's no dipstick. I had to go under, open up some stuff and take a sample. And I took it to a good friend of mine who analyzes oil. He said that there was too much metal in the oil, meaning parts of the transmission were starting to wear out. It hasn't yet tripped any codes, and the adaptations so far are normal for a 12-year-old BMW. But this tells me transmission's starting to wear out. Oil analysis is a great tool for seeing what kind of a shape a vehicle is in. Both engine, transmission, differential, whatever. When it's analyzed by somebody who knows what they're talking about, they're going to find it out, and you can know ahead of time. It's a good predictor. So in this case, the occasional missed shift and stuff, hey, that's a sign of internal wear. When I checked those solenoids driving around, would activate them, they were all working, and there weren't any codes for any of them going bad. It's starting to wear out. Now for this particular one, it's 12 years old, BMW offers what they call a fully remanufactured factory transmission. It's about $6,500. And with labor, at least at the BMW dealer, that's pretty close to what the 2 turbos cost to go. $7,000 something. You buy a beautiful looking car like this used, you are playing with dynamite. You never know what's going to blow and when it's going to go. Yes, the Germans put in interesting technology. These lower profile tires, they really handle well, but being lower profile, guess what? In the city, these things are destroyed. The rims get destroyed. All that stuff costs a small fortune when it goes out. Now that technology is fine at the racetrack because racetracks are pretty smooth. They go really fast, they make them well, they're smooth. They don't have giant potholes in them, curbs that you're gonna smash into. And this particular model being a beautiful convertible, there are convertible modes. There's a module for the convertible top, fault codes. You can even read the data stream of the convertible system. We are talking uber rocket science technology, even on a convertible top system for this thing. Now, maybe you just love the technology of one of these things. If you really love it and have to have it, take Scotty's advice. Lease one. Don't buy it. If you feel you can afford the lease payments, you're not going to have to repair the thing. You don't have to worry about all that stuff. Something breaks. They generally don't break that fast. If you look at their insanely low resale value, I mean, this thing was well over $40,000 new, and when it had 40,000 miles, it went for $13,500. There's a reason behind that low resale value. And if you would have bought it new and then sold it to somebody with 40,000 miles and lost 30-something thousand dollars on the deal, you'd have wished, hey, I should have leased that thing. I shouldn't have bought it. Now, I do have to say, I have customers with BMWs that are totally happy with the cars, but most of them are doctors, lawyers. They lease the vehicle under a business scenario where it's pre-tax money, so they don't have to pay tax on some of their salary, or the business itself is leasing it and they're getting the car for free. What do they care? One, their doctors and lawyers have tons of money, and two, it's a business write-off. But if you're counting your pennies and you're thinking about buying one of these things used, my advice is just keep saying to yourself, endless money pit, endless money pit, endless money pit. I had a mechanic friend years ago. Met at an auto parts store one day, and he said, hey, look at this great deal I got on this BMW for one of my customers. He didn't want me to fix it anymore, so he sold it to me at a really good price. Well, the problem with my friend there was he mainly worked on American cars. He didn't know that much about BMWs. I saw him about a year later, and I said, how's that BMW working out for you? He said, that plastic piece of crap, I got rid of it last month. I couldn't stand it anymore. All the plastic stuff kept breaking, the parts cost a fortune. I'll never buy another one of those. And this is a mechanic. Granted, he worked mainly on American cars. He liked the look of a BMW convertible and thought, oh, what a cool car. But in the long run, not so cool. And if you're thinking about getting a diesel BMW here in the United States, realize hardly anybody knows how to work on the things. And of course, the parts cost a small fortune, but they are probably the most complex diesel systems out there. When I get them in here, invariably, after I scan it, tell the customer, well, here's what we're going to start with. They say, I'm just going to get rid of the thing. I'm sick of this car anyways. Now, yes, they are beautiful cars, but sometimes beauty can be deceiving. So unless you like expensive, aggravating cars as they age, my advice, stay away from BMWs. And here's some bonus questions and answers. Mr. Douglas says, Scott, I got a 2000 Honda Insight with 163,000 miles. A hybrid battery starting to fail and it's over $2,000 to replace. I really just started a new job that requires a 108-mile commute 5 days a week. Do you think it's a good idea to replace it? Thanks. Here is the problem. $2,000 to replace that hybrid battery is not a brand new battery. That is a reconditioned battery. Ask about the warranty. Most of the ones that I've seen, they came with a year warranty. You're paying all their money for a 1 year warranty. It's a pretty stinky deal. Realize you're not buying a new battery. All those hybrid batteries, they're made from a bunch of little batteries, like little computer batteries, all hooked together. And when they start to go bad, guys get a computer program and they check them. Then they see, oh, cell number 16 is bad, cell number 27 is bad, and yada yada. Then they replace those cells. They don't replace them all. They only replace the ones that they say are bad. So the reconditioned ones, they stink. Look at the price of a brand new one. And it's going to be a lot more than $2,000. And if that's too high, I wouldn't do it if I were you. Because if you want to keep it and drive it a long time, putting a rebuilt one in, it's kind of stupid. It's probably going to go out in a short period of time. That's the scam of these rebuilt hybrid batteries. And I tell people, generally, you're better off staying away from them unless you're just planning on keeping the car for the warranty period. If it's a 1 or 2 year period and you're happy with that, go ahead. If not, don't. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.